Hey everyone, welcome to another exploration of ancient wisdom. I'm here with more timeless life lessons from the great sages and philosophers of the East and West, from Lao Tzu to Marcus Aurelius. Perfect for listening while you work, relax, or reflect. Let's dive into today's stories. Lao Tzu Daily Life. Lao Tzu said, "The greatest virtue is to follow the Tao." A man who lived in harmony with nature thrived, while one who fought it struggled. This teaches us to live simply, align with the natural flow of life. Socrates, self-growth. Socrates said, "Wisdom begins in wonder." A child's curiosity inspired him to question everything. Today, this means staying curious. Ask questions, explore, and never stop learning. Confucius, work. Confucius taught, "A man of virtue does not seek to be known." A scholar who sought fame lost his way, while one who worked quietly succeeded. In work, this means focusing on the task, not the recognition. Seneca, Daily Life. Seneca taught, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man without trials." A Roman faced hardships and grew stronger, while another avoided them and stayed weak. This teaches us to embrace challenges. They shape who we become. Bhagavad Gita, self-growth. Krishna taught, "The wise are free from attachment." A man who clung to possessions lived in fear, while one who let go lived freely. This reminds us to detach from material things. True freedom comes from within. Aristotle, work. Aristotle taught, "The least initial deviation from the truth is multiplied later." A small lie grew into a big problem for a merchant. In work, this means being honest. Even small truths matter in the long run. Zhuangzi, Daily Life. Zhuangzi said, "The greatest wisdom is to see through appearances." A sage saw beauty in a beggar, while others saw only rags. Today, this means looking beyond the surface. Judge people by their hearts, not their looks. Epictetus, self-growth. Epictetus taught, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you." A Stoic surrounded himself with positive people and grew, while another didn't and fell. This reminds us to choose our circle wisely. They influence your growth. Lao Tzu, self-growth. Lao Tzu said, "The more you know, the less you understand." A scholar thought he knew everything and became arrogant, while a humble man kept learning. This means staying humble. True wisdom comes from knowing your limits. Plato, Daily Life. Plato taught, "The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life." A child taught kindness grew into a good man. This teaches us to value learning. What we learn shapes our future. Confucius, work. Confucius taught, "The superior man is careful in his speech." A leader who spoke rashly lost trust, while one who spoke wisely gained respect. In work, this means thinking before you speak. Words matter. Marcus Aurelius, self-growth. Marcus Aurelius taught, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good." An emperor found strength in his own mind, not in external praise. In life, this means trusting your own judgment. Don't rely on others' approval. Bhagavad Gita, Daily Life. Krishna taught, "The senses are higher than the body, the mind higher than the senses." A man controlled his desires and found peace. This reminds us to master our impulses. A calm mind leads to a calm life. Seneca, work. Seneca taught, "Difficulties strengthen the mind. as labor does the body. A worker who faced challenges grew resilient, while one who avoided them stayed weak. In work, this means tackling tough tasks. They make you stronger. Zhuangzi, self-growth, Zhuangzi said, "The sage does not seek fame." A man who chased recognition was never satisfied, while a sage who lived quietly found peace. This reminds us to live for ourselves, not for others' approval. Lao Tzu, Daily Life. Lao Tzu said, "The Tao is like a bellows, empty, yet inexhaustible." A man who stayed open to life never ran out of energy, while one who closed off burned out. This teaches us to stay open. Emptiness allows for growth. Socrates, self-growth. Socrates said, "We are prisoners of our own ideas." A man who clung to old beliefs suffered, while one who opened his mind grew. This teaches us to challenge our assumptions. Growth comes from new perspectives. Confucius, work. Confucius taught, "The superior man is loyal to his principles." A leader who stayed true to his values succeeded, while one who didn't failed. In work, this means sticking to your ethics. Integrity is key. Seneca, Daily Life. Seneca taught, "The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable." A man who worried constantly was never happy, while one who lived in the moment found peace. This reminds us to stay present. Don't let worry steal your joy. Bhagavad Gita, self-growth. Krishna taught, "The wise are free from ego." A king who let go of pride ruled wisely, while one who didn't fell. This means letting go of ego. True wisdom comes from humility. Aristotle, work. Aristotle taught, "The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living from the dead." A man who kept learning thrived, while one who didn't faded. In work, this means valuing education. It brings life to your mind. Zhuangzi, Daily Life. Zhuangzi said, "The sage sees the world as a dream." A man who took life too seriously suffered, while a sage saw it as fleeting. This teaches us to take life lightly. Don't let small problems weigh you down. Epictetus, self-growth. Epictetus taught, "You become what you give your attention to." A Stoic focused on virtue and became virtuous, while another focused on vice and fell. This reminds us to focus on what matters. Your attention shapes your character. Lao Tzu, self-growth. Lao Tzu said, "The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao." A scholar tried to define the Tao and failed, while a sage felt it in silence. This reminds us to experience life directly. Some truths can't be put into words. Plato, Daily Life. Plato taught, "The community which has neither poverty nor riches will always have the noblest principles." A city with balance thrived, while one with extremes fell. In daily life, this means seeking balance. Don't chase excess or lack. Confucius, work. Confucius taught, "The superior man is diligent in his duties." A worker who stayed committed succeeded, while one who slacked failed. In work, this means being reliable. Consistency leads to success. Marcus Aurelius, self-growth. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." An emperor faced life's struggles head-on, while another avoided them and fell. This reminds us to tackle challenges. Life isn't always easy, but it's worth the fight. Bhagavad Gita, Daily Life. Krishna taught, "Perform your duty with a calm mind." A warrior fought with peace in his heart and won. This reminds us to stay calm under pressure. Focus on the task, not the stress. Seneca, work, Seneca taught. Begin at once to live, and count each day as a separate life. In work, this means treating each day as a fresh start. Make the most of every opportunity. Zhuangzi, self-growth, Zhuangzi said, "The sage does not seek to be remembered. A man who lived for legacy was forgotten, while a sage who lived for the moment was cherished." This reminds us to live for now. The present is what matters. That's it for today's journey of ancient wisdom. Which lesson spoke to you the most? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share this with a friend. And join me tomorrow for another exploration of timeless lessons. See you soon.